Hey everybody, welcome to Week in Review. This is where we take a look at all the videos we did this past week and we tell you a little bit about them, give you short snippets, and then you can see a link in the description for the full thing. Heads up, not as many videos this week, although we will have Jeff Knapp's top 100 of all time. We're at Dice Tower East, so you'll want to come see us there if you can. But either way, let's talk about what we did last week.
Hey everybody, I'm Garcia. Here's what I reviewed last week. So I reviewed Charcuterie, which I gave a 6 out of 10 to. This is a very neat I split you choose game that then has a spatial element in which you take these things and arrange them on the charcuterie board. I found that part to be a little bit lame, a little simplistic, but I like the I split you choose, and there's not that many of those games. So I enjoy it, and it looks really good, as in the pieces of, meats and cheeses and breads and yummy things and fruits. It all looks good. I reviewed Águeda, City of Umbrellas. This gets a 7.5 out of 10 from me. It's a very nice, welcoming game. I love the look of it. The production is stellar. And the whole thing has a really small feel, but in a good way. It's very easy to understand, very easy to get to the table. I enjoy what's happening in it. It's a little bit fiddly, and I wish the board was slightly larger to accommodate these umbrellas and not have to sort of fiddle about with them. But the gameplay is excellent, and I really did enjoy it. It has a nice amount of rising tension as you're getting close to the end of the game. The whole thing is just comfortable. I really enjoy it. I could see it being one of the newer games that I reach for on the shelf to teach new folks into gaming to try it out, because I think it does have that appeal. Let's see. I reviewed a bunch of games from the Paco Games set number 3. I'm not going to give you all the scores for them. They're all together in one video. I did that with Tom, so go check that out. 8 games that come in a very small little package, about the size of a chewing gum package. So there you go. Me and Camilla did, or Camilla and I, did a Deepwood video talking about our Into the Deepwood campaign, so go check that out. It is spoiler-filled, but if you've already played or you're going along with us, you can listen to some of our thoughts as well as a little discussion on what we think of the cards in the game versus the dice in the game, so check that out. And then lastly, I reviewed Aquatica Coral Reefs expansion, and I love it. I gave it a 9 out of 10. It is It's very well put together. It gives you a lot more interesting choices to think about without including a lot of new rules, which I think is the sweet spot, and when you manage to give a game lots of new interests, new things to think about, making me distinct from the other players around the table, and yet the rules for those things being implemented are simple. Really well done. Kudos to the team. So there you go. That's it for me. I'll see you on the next one.
Week in review time for Roy Kennedy, and today, this week, I took a look at Marvel Champions Age of Apocalypse. This adds 2 more characters, Bishop and Magic, and then a bunch more villains, a couple apocalypses, and some other crazy people in there like Dark Beast. It's doing like a crazy time machine thing. I love Marvel Champions. I've continued to love Marvel Champions. This is a 9.5 for me. I really enjoy X-Men in general, and it's really cool to see these characters coming into the game. So yeah, check out my review for that. If you're interested in some Marvel Champions, that's what I took a look at.
We interrupt Week in Review to bring you Chris Time. This week I took a look at first Things and Rings. I give a 7.5, a deduction game where you're trying to put cards into a Venn diagram. I greatly disliked this game the first time, 2 times that I played it, and then it's kind of grown on me, and I think this is where it comfortably sits. It has the potential to make some players feel dumb, but I think as players get familiar with what the rules of these rings could be for this Venn diagram, it's fun. It can grow on you, and I like that this game has a scalability factor. We can play with 3, 2, or 1 ring even. You can make the rules of each ring easier or more difficult. It's a nice little adjustable difficulty kind of a game. And then the other game I reviewed this week, Invincible. This is the hero building game. I gave an 8, and I could see this one going up very easily for me. It's a mix of pulling cubes from a bag and then assigning them out to different places, and then trying to fire off these actions to save the day from these supervillains. It feels heroic, it feels fun. Even the bad stuff in this game has the fact that it's wild, so you can assign it to any action. It has a nice arc to it. I like Invincible a lot. The other thing that we did this week was that Wendy and I and Z took a look at the nominees for the Spiel des Jahres and the Kenner Spiel des Jahres, discussed them and discussed our predictions and what we also would personally pick for each of those awards. So that has been Chris time. We now return to Week in Review.
All right, guys, this week I took a look at 4 different games. First up is Things in Rings. I came in at a 5 on this one. I just don't like it. It's one of those that I can play it and be like, yep, I can immediately see how some people will be really good at this, and those people will probably really like it. If you like kind of those puzzly word games, what's the thing that connects all these together, but doing it, try it faster than your opponents, but also with a lot of luck because turn order matters. You know, you might be able to figure out the connection between those words and deal out your whole hand right before your opponent. Or you might be sitting there on your turn and the person before you gets it and you played one card the entire game. So it's too much, I don't say randomness, but the actual plays of the game just seem really, really swingy. Everyone either gets it or nobody does, or the same person keeps getting it. It's just not fun. I never walked away enjoying it. But I can definitely see how people would, so make sure you check out that review if you do tend to like those words and word association games. Check out the review, because I was in the minority in not liking it. But I really don't like it. All right, enough. It was a 5. Blech. I'm good. Let's not talk about it. Moving on, next up was Aquatica Coral Reefs. Yes, that was the name. Coral Reefs is the name of the expansion. Aquatica Coral Reefs. This is the second expansion for Aquatica, and I really liked it. I came in at an 8 for it. This is the way I'm going to play Aquatica going forward. So for me, it is not an essential expansion, but it's exactly what I want this game to be. It made scouting much, much more interesting as you're trying to decide when you're going to push those cards off, because some of the cards are going to have this defending token on it, and if it has that defending token on it, when that card is scouted off the board or discarded, the player gets it for free. So you have to decide when you're going to do that to, are you going to buy a card, conquer a card, or just defend it and then hopefully scout it off the board quickly to add it to your tableau. I really liked that. I also really liked the Coral Reefs, which gives the columns on your player board unique powers and unique reasons to place there. So a lot of cool things happening. This is the way I want to play it. I wouldn't quite call it essential, but it's definitely my standard play going forward, is including those 2 new things. However, it only came in at an 8 because I have issues with the colors still. They still have not fixed the purple mantas. They're pretty unreadable, especially from the other side of the board or the table. And I just think that with the second expansion at this point, it's kind of inexcusable. So it definitely brought it down to that 8 where I would absolutely recommend it. But I think you need to know that the purple mantas will still frustrate you if it's been a problem in the past. All right, I also took a look at, I'm gonna say it wrong, and I even practiced. Águeda. Check out the screen, you can see the game. Right there, that one. I took a look at it and I gave it a 6. This is such a unique and fun theme, and the production of this game is fantastic. The pieces are very, very satisfying to touch, to play. It looks beautiful as you're building out your own tableau, but ultimately I just didn't find the game that engaging. It's a very light game, which I have no problem with, very much entry-level, welcoming kind of game. It's very quick to learn and very quick to play. But I never found myself satisfied with my turns. There's some interesting decisions to make of when you're going to score and are you going to finish out your mural or not, but it seems like finishing the mural feels like a bigger deal than it is. And it's also not that satisfying. It's like, oh, I finished my mural. So did everybody else. And we all get the same 6 points. Okay, that was a wash, and it also wasn't personally satisfying. So for me, the game was just kind of benign is the best way that I could put it. It was a 6 for me. Sure, I'll play it, but I'm not going out of my way to recommend it or to seek it out. That was Águeda. And last up is Charcuterie, which is such a gorgeous and cute and adorable and just yummy little game. I came in at a 7.5 on Charcuterie. My biggest complaint was that with it was placement really didn't seem to matter, or you think it matters more than it does. So you're making a charcuterie board. It has the I split you choose, where you're going to draw some tiles from a bag, make equal piles, and then you go around the table and everyone chooses a pile, and if you're the one that split, you get the last pile available. That can definitely cause some AP and slow the game down. I'm one of those people, and I fully recognize it, that I have to turn off and be like, it doesn't matter, pull them out and make 4 piles, move on. Because I will sit there and just think and think and think and think, and that's not fun to play with. So you have to be aware of that going in, but if you can let that go and just go with the flow of the game, it's just charming. It's charming to go through and make your little charcuterie board and put stuff next to each other. It feels thinkier than it is. I think once you get to scoring, you're kind of like, oh, I was way overthinking this entire game. So if you keep that in mind, light, I think it's a fantastic filler game that's going to fill a lot of filler needs, I guess. You know, starting the game night off, can also take it to play with your family at holidays and things like that. Just really approachable is kind of where I came down. And I think for that, I guess, scope of mind, then it does it really well. So that's going to be a 7.5 for me. That's all that I took a look at this week. Everything from Things and Rings, Aquatica, Águeda, and Charcuterie. It's off to Dice Tower East for me, so I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Hey everybody, I'm Joey Evans, and here are the games I reviewed this week. First off was Mazescape Kids, Hipnos. It's based on the Mazescape game, but it's actually made for kids. A little bit lighter. It's a maze. You unfold, you go around trying to find objectives and stuff. I enjoyed this. With kids, it would be a great activity, and it's very portable, so I gave that a 7.5. Also, I reviewed Invincible. Invincible is a really cool game. It's kind of a mixture between Quacks of Quedlinburg and Marvel United. I really enjoyed this one so much where I wanted to go back and play it again and again. So this one I actually gave a 9.5 to. So if you like the show, or even if you haven't seen the show, you'll like it anyway. It's great. So those are the 2 games I reviewed this week.
Okay, so for me, I was in a review about Charcuterie. Beautiful looking game. Love Charcuterie in real life. This one is also a fun I split you choose display type game. I gave it a 7.5. Also, I should mention, over the course of the week, we did a lot of our playthroughs from the Summer Spectacular were being posted. I reviewed Aquatica Coral Reefs. This is an expansion for that game. A great expansion, 8.5. Really liked the additions that this adds, especially the defend mechanism. A lot of fun. Then I reviewed Águeda. This is a game about, umbrellas, an umbrella street. Really nice introductory game to teach people with some great components. 7.5 from me. We did our top 10 games to start with the letter A, which sounds silly, but actually there's a point to it because, well, 1, it's fun to do. B, it lets us talk about games that we might not normally talk about. Some great games to start with the letter A. We did a live play of a couple live plays. We did a live play of DC United, but we also did a live play of Brink. 2 very fun games. We reviewed Things and Rings, this new party-style game with a Dr. Seuss theme. Kind of a thinky, but also party game. I enjoyed it a lot. 8 out of 10. Z and I took a look at the Pack of Games, 8 different games. This is Pack of Games 3 from Chris Handy, which had a wide range of reviews. I also did 5 quick party game reviews, which again, kind of all over the board on my ratings on those. I did a little video on getting ready for Dice Tower East, and then I ended with Invincible, the hero building game, this amazing game from Dire Wolf. I gave this one a 9. It is fantastic. So there you go, folks. That's what we did last week. If you're coming to Dice Tower East, make sure you say hi to us. And if you're not, well, sign up for Dice Tower Cruise because that's pretty cool. And if you're not, well, we still have videos coming your way, so we hope you enjoy them. I'm Tom Vassell, and you've been watching Week in Review on the Dice Tower.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us for that video. If you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hey, make sure you check out What's Happening, where I'll cover an app on an iOS or a Switch device, and you can check it out along with me. Thanks very much. You've been watching The Dice Tower.